We've got some breaking news.
The football world has been rocked by yet another refereeing controversy, but this time the fallout has reached boiling point after former Premier League referee Mark Clattenburg publicly tore into VAR officials following a brutal tackle on an AFC player that somehow escaped proper punishment. What should have been a routine intervention for video review has instead become a symbol of everything fans, players, and even former referees now despise about the modern officiating system. The incident itself was as clear-cut as they come. An AFC attacker broke free into space, shifting the ball past a defender before being wiped out by a reckless, late challenge that sent him crashing to the turf. Studs were showing, the point of contact was high, and the force was undeniable. In stadiums across the world, supporters instinctively braced for a red card and a VAR check that would confirm what everyone could already see. Instead, play resumed after a brief pause, with VAR officials choosing not to intervene. No red card. No serious on-field review. Just stunned disbelief. That disbelief quickly turned into outrage, and no voice was louder or more damning than that of Mark Clattenburg. Speaking with unmistakable frustration, the former elite referee didn't hide behind diplomatic language or vague explanations. He called the decision indefensible and questioned whether VAR officials were either afraid to challenge the on-field referee or fundamentally misunderstanding their role. According to Clattenburg, this was precisely the type of incident VAR was introduced to correct, not ignore. Clattenburg's criticism cut deep because it came from someone who understands the pressures of officiating at the highest level. He emphasized that VAR is not meant to re-referee every minor contact, but when a tackle is dangerous, endangers a player, and clearly meets the criteria for serious foul play, there is no excuse for silence. In his words, failing to act in such moments undermines player safety and damages the credibility of the entire system. What has enraged fans even more is the growing sense of inconsistency. Similar tackles in other matches have resulted in straight red cards after VAR intervention, while this incident was brushed aside as if it barely mattered. That lack of uniformity fuels conspiracy theories, accusations of bias, and the belief that some clubs or players are treated differently. Clattenburg echoed this frustration, stating that football cannot survive on a system where identical incidents produce wildly different outcomes week after week. The AFC camp was understandably furious. Players surrounded the referee in disbelief, coaching staff raged on the touchline, and supporters vented their anger long after the final whistle. For them, this wasn't just a bad decision, it was a moment that could have changed the entire match. Playing against an opponent reduced to 10 men would have altered the tactical balance completely. Instead, AFC were left feeling cheated, forced to continue against a player who many believe should not have been on the pitch. Beyond the immediate match, the incident has reignited the wider debate about VAR's effectiveness. Introduced to eliminate clear and obvious errors, it now appears to many as a system drowning in confusion and fear of accountability. Clattenburg pointed out that VAR officials must have the courage to make tough calls, even if it means overruling colleagues on the field. Protecting referees from embarrassment, he argued, should never come at the expense of fairness or player welfare. Fans across social media rallied behind Clattenburg's comments, praising him for saying what many insiders are reluctant to admit. Former players, pundits, and analysts joined the chorus, calling for greater transparency in VAR decision-making and clearer explanations after controversial incidents. Some even went further, suggesting that officials involved in such mistakes should be temporarily stood down or required to publicly justify their decisions. As the dust settles, one thing is clear, this scandal will not be forgotten quickly. The brutal tackle, the lack of VAR intervention, and Clattenburg's explosive critique have combined into a perfect storm that once again puts football's officiating standards under the microscope. Whether authorities choose to listen or simply move on remains to be seen, but for AFC fans and many neutrals, the damage has already been done. Trust in VAR has taken yet another hit, and voices like Mark Clattenburg's are growing louder, demanding a system that actually delivers justice rather than controversy.